Hey visibility hackers, welcome back to this video. Today we're talking about using one of my favorite free software platforms, Google Sheets, in order to make a useful content calendar. So if that interests you, then stay tuned. So I did a thing and now I can't turn back. Basically, I changed my planning process. It's helped me become more accountable. It's helped me stay on track. It's helped me produce more consistent, better quality content without feeling overwhelmed or feeling like I'm drowning. And I cannot wait to share this secret with you guys. In this video, we're going to talk about how you create content is just as important as why you create content. We're going to talk about planning content like the pros. And at the end of this video, I will share with you my prescription for content planning success. So for this and more, stay tuned, roll that intro. Let's talk about micro content for a moment. Micro content are smaller, bite-sized pieces of the larger pieces of content that you put a lot of energy into producing. We need to have a balance of both of these types of content if we want to keep our viewers engaged. We want to serve them the more thought out, well-produced content, which we call our core content, just as much as we want to serve them up those quicker, shorter form videos that the algorithms really love, that'll catch their attention. But from a psychological perspective, that micro content helps keep our brand at top of mind. So let's do a little bit of content math. Here in our teaching room here, I have a little bit of work already put together for us. So we want to think about our core pieces of content, and we want to write out these trees like this. So you want to put your core piece of content at the top. If you're like me, you probably have more than one core piece of content a week, and that's okay. What I want you to do is create a list for each piece of core content. So in the visibility hacking world, we have the live show that runs on Mondays, which is a core piece of content. We also have the showcase, which is a core piece of content. We also have the Friday night live show, which is a core piece of content. From there, we are going to list off all of the platforms that our audience is currently involved in. This is a lot. It seems a little bit more overwhelming if you're just getting started and you're trying to think of where your audience is currently hanging out. But when you've gotten into the role for a little bit and you've been creating content and engaging with your people already, you'll probably already know what platforms you're communicating with them on. So you're going to list off your platforms that you're on. And then finally, you're going to list off all of the different types of variations of that core piece of content that you can talk about. So if you've watched the live show before, you've seen that our show is a series of different segments. And each of those segments can stand alone as its own piece of content. So I've listed off those segments here as variations. Maybe for you, you're going to have a piece of micro content that speaks to your hook, a piece of micro content that speaks to your story, and then a piece of micro content that leads into your offer, for example. Think about how you can snip up that core content or how you can create different variations. You don't actually need to think through your variations that much. You can also just wing it if that's the type of content creation that you are into. So make sure you do all of this listing off because it's going to make the next couple steps once we get into Google Sheets so much easier. Before we get into any of that stuff, my friends, I need to ask you our question of the day. I am super curious. Do you currently plan your content? Do you have a content calendar? Even if it's just writing your content on sticky notes, let me know what your current planning process is because I'm super curious. Now let's adjust our teaching room here a little bit because I have another thing I want you guys to see because we got to dive into the actual Google Calendar. So this is the Google Calendar or the Google content planning calendar that we use. It's simply just designed in Google Sheets. You can get access to it down in our visibility vault linked down below. But let me show you how to use it. So the first thing we want to do is make sure it's set up and ready to go for what we're using it for. You'll notice at the bottom of this page when you open it for yourself, you're going to make a copy, and at the very bottom you're going to see a variety of different tabs at the bottom. One of them says template. You're going to copy that template tab, save it as whatever month you're planning for, and that way you can keep making copies of that template for each month moving forward. So I like to keep my housekeeping in order. So what you're going to do is go through column B here, and you're going to add in the week of the year. This helps me stay on top of things. This is how I organize everything in terms of content, is by week of the year. So add in those numbers there. And then in column D, you're going to add in the day of the month. So let's say today is Tuesday, the 2nd of June. So we'll go up to Tuesday, or we'll go up to Monday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. So you can do the whole month. Then what we're going to do is we're going to look at what platforms that we've already identified that we need to add into our content plan. So the live show, for example, that's our core content, and we have that here under YouTube. So we're going to have our topic, so the episode title, or the general topic we're talking about, as well as the title's going to go in there. And we're going to continue this along with all of the different platforms that we're engaging with our people. So you can add those across the top as well. You can do this as well on the template, and that way every time you copy the template over, you have your platforms already listed. But I like to do it month by month, just in case that changes. Now we're going to add in all of these pieces that we put from our plan. We're going to start adding those in. Now, if you haven't already joined us, actually, let me move out of here for a sec. If you haven't already joined us in the Year of Content training, you're going to want to check that out. So our next round will be announced very soon. Definitely check out the visibility vault down below, and you'll get access to that there. But the reason I'm telling you that you have to go through that is because we give you a system based on content pillars and questions, and you end up walking out of that training with more than a year's worth of content. You know how to collect the right titles for your videos and the right hooks for your stories and whatnot. And that way we can take all of the information you learned from that training and we can splatter it all over this calendar in an organized, easy to follow way. If you haven't done that training yet, this is where you're going to want to think up all of those different individual pieces of content. So if we look back at our calendar, we can see that here in column E is where we're going to talk about topics. So if you want to say, today, across all of my platforms, we are only going to talk about subject matter A. That is the only thing we're going to talk about. If we go back to that recurring example that we have here on the channel, a fitness coach. So our fitness coach for the whole day is just going to talk about sweet potatoes and their macronutrients and how important they are to your diet. And then tomorrow, our fitness coach is only going to talk about warm-ups and how important warm-ups are in our exercises. And then the following day, they're only going to talk about how important sleep is to our overall health. So every day they have a different topic, and then across each platform they can talk about it in a different way. That's a great way to plan your content as well. So get to thinking about what your platforms are, what kinds of content you need to be creating for your people, and start organizing it by month here on your content calendar. Of course, there is so much more to planning great content, but the best place to start, if you want to create the right kind of content that's designed to connect to your ideal audience, then I recommend starting by hitting the subscribe button here on the channel so that you can get all of our visibility hacking tips, tricks, and strategies delivered straight to you. So now, let's dive back into our Google Calendar and I'll show you how I use it because I have a really cool way of keeping organized. I'm a visual learner. I don't know about you guys, but I like to see things in progress. I like to be able to look at a document like this, which can sometimes feel really overwhelming because there's a lot of information on it every month when you fill it out. And I like to have things where I can look at it very quickly and know exactly the status of that piece of content. And so that's what we have designed here on the Google Sheet. So if you go over to any of our rows here, you'll notice that there are these drop boxes or these drop down menus that I've created. So once you add in your title, super awesome video. Let's say we have we're in the middle of filming that piece of content. So I'm going to change that drop down menu to the clapboard, and that's my symbol that is in the filming process. And then once we've completed it, it's done editing, we have all of our graphics, it's been scheduled, then we can select the green check mark, and I know that piece of content is done. This is a fantastic way to organize your content planning system, whether you're working by yourself, with a team, with a remote team, it does not matter. And it's also a great tool to use if you are creating content plans for clients because they're able to see the progress of them as well. So get to planning. Use these icons. I have a couple of different pieces. Let me just find where it is here. I have a couple of different menus that we use. Can I make this a little bit bigger for you guys? Heck yeah, I can. There we go. All right, so here are the different symbols that we use. Let's see if I can remember them all. Green check mark means completely done, totally finished. The picture means we need graphics. The Space Invader means we're in the editing booth. The clapper means that we are filming that. Now, these 4 colored circles are how I organize batch filmed content. So if I'm going to be filming 4 different pieces of content that'll live throughout the month, then each of those that are filmed at the same location are going to be all given the same colored dot. That way, when I'm planning out my filming, I can also see which pieces of content are grouped together. What am I filming at the same time? So I have 4 categories for that. You can always add in more if you'd like to. The handwriting sign means we need a caption written. The cloud means we've uploaded everything and are ready for scheduling. The alarm clock means that we have been scheduled. And then these last 2 are for when I'm working with my team. They can bring things to my attention and I can bring things to their attention. This is pretty much the what's going on with this one? I don't know. Or did we drop the ball on this piece of content? So you can add in whatever icons that work best for your group as well. So there's a separate tab at the bottom of the page for that. And it's very, very easy. Once you update it here, just close or refresh the screen. And then those icons will show up on all of your drop-down menus. Pretty fantastic, I have to say. Oh my goodness, my friends, there's so much that we covered in this video, but I am going to cut it short because I got to dive in and plan all of my June content. I know it's 2 days into the month already, but I've been a little bit busy, so I got to get back on track, and this is a tool that really helps me do that. So if I haven't stressed it enough, you definitely want to join us for the Year of Content training. You want to check out all of the great resources we have available to you absolutely free. So check the link down below. It'll bring you over to the Visibility Vault. In there, we've got the content plan. This tracker that we talked about today, I'm going to upload that into the members area so you have access to that and so much more. So definitely check that out. I will see you again soon. Feel free to join us over in the Visibility Hackers group. Head over to visibilityhacking.com. Click the link at the top of the page. It says Become a Visibility Hacker. And I'll see you over there, my friends. Until then, remember I love you. Be excellent to each other. And just go live because your people are out there waiting for you.